Hey everyone, CJ here with Matt Every's golf swing, the Arnold Palmer Invitational winner, and played well. That's the key. We're going to look at here is some things that, here's a guy that's a tour player, and I hear a lot on the PGA Tour, comments, about him where, it might not be ideal, but this is the good thing is we need to look at players that are out there and what are they doing well. And you know what? Not every swing is perfect, but they know where the ball's going. They're able to time it up, whatever the case may be, and have a good career with it. So, Matt Every's been around for a while, but I want to look at his swing here and kind of see what we can take away. As we all know, again with me, I'm always looking back of the shoulders, tip of the knees, balls of the feet. That's the first thing you want to check with yourself. Now, a couple things here. Matt Every's kind of famous, if you will, or infamous for getting on his toes, and I'll just go through this really quick here. We're moving the camera a little bit on us, but just want to kind of show you his footwork through the shot, and you can see where his left foot really gets on the outside almost of his left foot. Both toes are up in the air before he comes down. So that's really what I want to show you. The other thing you're going to see here from him, and I want to talk to you about this. So here's the shaft plane line. We just draw a simple line up there. The perfect connection swing, we draw the shoulder plane. And really what we're trying to do for the amateur golfer is, most amateur golfers have a tendency to get steep on it, and changing that's going to be difficult. But if you swing on the shoulder plane line and exit on the shoulder plane line, you'll be a pretty good player, a la Tom Watson. So that's kind of his swing. But ultimately, if we can keep the ball or the club between these two lines, we're going to play pretty good golf. Now, as Matt takes it back here, and I want to show you, in my belief, my opinion, why I think he gets the gets on his toes at impact or on the way down. As you can see, when he takes the club back, I want you to pay close attention to the line I drew on his head, on that white hat. You're going to see where his weight goes, how it goes down and forward. You can see, and it actually, if they're still moving the camera, his head actually goes even further away than what that line shows. So from this position, he gets his arm actually above that line because he's moved forward. He's changed the plane line, and from here his arms are working out. You're going to see how stuck his left arm gets. In other words, his left arm is really behind his hip. There. Well, he has really nowhere to go. So in golf terms, what we'd talk about is just the club is behind him there. Yes, the shaft is parallel to, actually it's a little steeper than the shaft plane line, but it's close. It's bisecting his bicep or pretty close, but he is stuck. And that's why you're going to see his hips, in an unconventional way, they're going to sort of raise up out of it. When that happens, you tend to lose the lag quickly and aren't going to really hit it as far as what you'd like. Now, he swings at it with pretty good speed, but you can see how his toes, he's actually creating room to get the club back on the ball. So because he's stuck, he's having to stand up out of it. So why is he stuck? In my belief, I think it really has to do with head motion. We will allow the head to move side to side, not so much, or I should say never, in this direction. This is one of the few tour players I've ever seen whose head works forward. Now, how did he win? Well, he averaged 283 yards off the tee, which is about 50th on the driving distance that week. Usually that course is pretty high rough, but he didn't even hit it that accurate. So he was 60% in fairways, which was a 51st there. But the biggest area was strokes gained. He gained 1.616 putts average per hole on the nearest competitor. So he was third in that stat. So his greens and regulation, he hit a lot of greens. So when you're hitting a lot of greens and you're leading the field in putting, those are two combinations that you really want to have. So again, he didn't hit it super far. He didn't hit it super accurate with his with his driver, but he hit a lot of fairways. He hit a lot of greens. He actually hit it pretty close. He averaged 34 feet, which was 11th, tied for 11th. And, he made a lot of putts. So when you're hitting a lot of greens and you're hitting it somewhat close, and, from that standpoint, and you're making some putts, that's going to add up for a pretty good week. Now, what I want to tell you here, and I don't want anyone to kind of write in and say, well, you're dogging this guy, and, here he is on tour. Yes, I would trade him careers right now. Absolutely. He's won more tour events than I have ever done, and I've never played on the tour. But I want you to understand what we're trying to do from this is, how do you at home apply this to your game? Well, first off, we want to see what we don't want to do, and that is really getting the head moving forward. That would be something that I would definitely not want anyone to do. We'd want your swing, in your backswing, you want your weight to go from the balls of the feet to the right heel. And you're going to definitely see here where he gets a lot of weight forward immediately. That's where I think he could improve. Now, what can you take away from this? Okay, you can see that the club's coming down a little bit steeper, so you can see where he's kind of aimed here, more down the right side, but watch where this ball takes off. So he's going to hit the ball, and he's going to pull it more to the left, and then it's just going to curve. You can see there's a nice fade to it. Bruce Litsky made a great career of hitting a perfect fade. And he didn't have to practice that much. If you know where the ball's going, you can play this game to the highest level. And so he just aims it down a little right, hits a little pull fade, plays it, because the club's a little steep, he just pulls it down the left side and then just hits a fade with it. And you can play this game to a high level. You do that and putt well like he did and have a pretty good short game, you're going to play this game again to a very high level. And as Matt showed, you're going to win on the PGA Tour. So, my utmost congratulations to him. What we're going to see here with him is that, again, you don't have to have a perfect swing. And that's what's beautiful about this game. You do not have to have, textbook. You look at a guy like Jim Furyk, he might be a little bit better on the way down than Matt, but there's definitely more than one perfect swing that can get you out on tour and obviously provide you a great career. So, again, what you learn from this is a good posture. What you don't want to have is your head going forward. And finally, what you can learn from him is, as long as you know which way it's going, I think most amateurs have a tendency to aim it down the center of the fairway, and they hope to either hit it straight or fade it a little bit or draw it a little bit. But the issue with Matt here, he can aim it down the left side, where in his mind he knows he's going to pull it, but as long as he curves it back, his fairway is twice as wide than the person that aims down the center and is hoping to hit it straight or maybe draw it a little bit or fade it a little bit. The key to playing good golf is eliminating half the course. If in his case he can aim down the left side, fade it back. If you're a drawer, you want to tee up on the right side of the tee box, aim it down the right side, and that way you have the full width of the fairway. So, congratulations again to Matt, and I will see you guys next week.